Hey guys.
Alright folks, we're here today to check out a Patreon request from this patrono right here. The name of the band, I'm gonna butcher it, but it is what it is. The name of the band is Xaon. Shanawana. The name of the song is If I Had Wings, which it almost feels like a prequel to I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly.
By R. Kelly?
Yeah, by the great late R. Kelly. Well, he's
not dead.
I know, but
career dead, yes.
His career is dead. There's no resurrecting that career.
I feel like his career dies when he gets taken off of Spotify, which I don't know if he has yet.
I don't think he has.
Okay, well,
I think once he gets out of jail, he should go on a tour with Bill Cosby and call it the Shits and Giggles Tour. I don't know who's open for who, but you're free to take a piss at it.
I don't even know what they're even doing either. Would Bill Cosby do comedy before the show for R. Kelly?
Or R. Kelly would sing some songs and then
Bill Cosby
will come in and tell some jokes. Whatever you do, don't drink anything during that concert.
Or leave your drink out.
Exactly. Or sit in the front row. That's worse than a war show. You need to sit there with a fucking poncho on, because you're definitely going to get some fluids on your face.
Mask.
Oh, everything.
One of those face protectors.
Oh, yeah. No, just buy a helmet, like a bike helmet.
Yeah.
Like with a visor and shit. Like, stay protected.
Riot shield.
Protect your neck. And all your orifices, for that matter.
Exactly.
All right. On that note, are you ready to check out this music video?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what this is all about.
What a track so far.
glad he didn't jump, because those were some flimsy wings. I feel like the weight balance was a little bit off on those wings. All right.
It just looked like he was holding like a wood plank, and then he kind of like draped over his kitchen counter. Like
before I want your opinion on this before I go in on it. But before I do that, I want to tell you guys a very quick story. When I was a kid, I watched this Brazilian soap opera, and it was about a small town somewhere in Brazil where they built a cemetery, but they couldn't inaugurate the cemetery because nobody had died, so they needed somebody to die so that they could, say like, oh, the cemetery is open for business, whatever. And there was a crazy guy in town that built wings like that because he wanted to fly. So the mayor wanted him to jump off of somewhere because he would die, and then he could, inaugurate his cemetery. But the people were always getting him off the ledges, not letting him do it. So the whole series, the whole soap opera was so fucking hilarious, because here you have a guy trying to inaugurate a cemetery because since they built it, nobody died, and then you have the guy with the wings trying to fly. And at the end, the last episode, the guy actually jumps and he actually flies, and he doesn't die, so they don't get to inaugurate the cemetery with him, at least not with him. Anyways, I can't remember the name of the soap opera, but I thought that was really interesting because the same gizmo, it looked exactly the same from that. Anyhow, thoughts on the song?
The song, you know what? This entire song was like an experience I don't think I've had either in a while or ever. Really.
Good or bad?
Good.
Oh, okay.
Good experience. Because song-wise, it was... I enjoyed... I feel like I enjoyed everything about this song, but it took me in different kind of directions.
I think I know why, but go ahead.
I wasn't able to fully experience every part of the song, so I'm going to need to go back and listen to it again. But the harsh vocals, his cleaner vocal, I loved his cleaner vocals. They're very velvety, like very nice. But then the whole song had that cut in the middle, which was really well done, and then coming back in a bombastic way, which is not what I was expecting from when it started, to kind of slowly go into a more symphonic direction. So this entire song was very different I feel like I've probably listened to something similar, but as it is, I've never listened to a song like this.
So I agree with you, and I think I can spot the differences, or what makes this track perhaps unique. I felt like this was a symphonic song that brings elements from other symphonic genres, like symphonic death metal, symphonic power metal. It just brings all the subgenres that fall under symphonic metal, all of those other ones. It brings pieces of all of them into one single song. That's the perception that I have. Now, what makes it unique, in my perspective, what makes it unique is that sometimes when you have songs that have this sort of epic sound, this sort of essence, this sort of experience, two things happen. Either you have a female vocalist, which was not the case here, or you have a female vocalist with a male harsh vocalist mixed into it. Normally you have that dynamic, either one or the other. Very rarely you get a male vocalist, and when you do, most often than not, it's very linear performance.
Yeah.
Meaning, if you're gonna get clean vocals, you get clean vocals from the beginning to end. If you're gonna get harsh vocals, you get harsh vocals from beginning to end. So this specific vocal performance, to me, is what sets this song apart. Because musically, I've heard this before. It's not like I'm listening to something that I haven't heard before. I mean, I enjoyed the fact that they brought bits and pieces from different subgenres into one single song, and they made it work really well. It doesn't feel choppy at all. It feels like the song has legs. It has beginning, middle, and end. That pause was phenomenal. I agree with you. Phenomenal. So, song-wise, musically, I've heard all of this before. Maybe not in this context. Maybe not in this sort of creation, but I've heard it before. In my humble opinion, what sets it apart is the vocals. Because normally, when I hear songs like this, I've already went through the list of the styles or the approaches that come with it. To get a male vocalist that has this kind of range, that offers this kind of dynamic, this up and down movement, the clean vocals were, when he hits that chorus, if I had wings, it's fucking phenomenal. was so beautiful.
That's
Not overly operatic, but fucking beautiful.
Yeah, that's what
velvety.
Velvety. Velvety was the perfect word for what his vocals are.
Perfect, smooth.
Because even before that, even before the chorus, you know, kind of leading up, his vocals were getting nice and smooth. But even his harsh vocals weren't overly harsh. The whole song, perfect vocal delivery.
Not overly harsh, but harsh enough to make a difference between that and the rest.
Yes.
Which is important.
Yeah.
Which is important for a song that has this sort of life. And then the drums were fucking heavy. The drums were phenomenal. I love the drums throughout this entire track. And that sense of the tide coming and going. Because you're watching it on the video, the tide coming and going. And then musically, you're also listening to the tide coming and going with that stop and go, stop and go. I fucking love this track. I think it's a phenomenal song. But the vocalist is what sets this song apart. You know, because like I said, musically, you may have heard different permutations of songs like this, but when you have this kind of vocalist, really sets things apart. It really helps separate, separate the song from everything else around it, or from other songs around it that sound familiar to it. So vocally is where I'm at. This song sold me. With a vocalist like this, you can do this sort of stuff. Really phenomenal. And the guy looks phenomenal. I mean,
I know.
For a ginger, he definitely has soul, which is he's probably the only one.
Yeah, he pulls off the look and the stance too. That
the shirt, the stance, the beard.
The beard.
Oh fuck, the beard was glorious. You know, he looked like one of those guys from Game of Thrones. Oh. No, I was gonna say Game of Thrones.
Let's say Pirates of the Caribbean.
The Wildlings. He looked like one of the Wildlings. Pirates of the Caribbean. That's a good one too. Yeah, he had a little bit of the pirate beard.
And the shirt, too.
Yeah, the fluffy shirt.
The fluffy shirt, which went with his velvety voice.
The only way this could have gotten any better is if he had a velvet vest on top of said shirt. But he had his voice, and that's like a blanket that covered the whole song.
Yeah.
A velvety blanket that covered this whole song. This is a phenomenal find. I've never heard of the band before until he got requested on Patreon. This band was requested by 2 different people on Patreon. Not the same song, but the same band. Got requested by 2 different people. And considering it's not a super popular band or a popular band at all, when you see multiple people requesting, I'm like, fuck, somebody has discovered something really good.
You gotta look into it.
You gotta look into it, and that's why we're here. And hopefully today, not only we discovered this new band, more of you are discovering this new band with us, which is the whole point of this channel. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. I really enjoyed this. Thank you to the Patrono that requested, and we'll see you guys at the next one.
See ya.